Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Oh, yeah. It's like I'm a prophet. I'm only kidding. Yes, I hear all the buzz. I knew this was coming. I said it was coming. I know people were saying otherwise. But if Maliki took control of the government, you could start to see increases in the Iraqi Dinar. That doesn't mean it's good for the country overall. But, again, if you're a person who benefits by the millions in auctioning off Iraqi dinars, obviously, the more value it gains, then the better you do off. So, of course, there were two articles today that were talking on the restoration of the exchange rate. Let's get into that. Before we get started, though, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, now is the time to buy the shine. Head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. So let's take a look at what's going on. So as far as the other news is concerned, still what they're talking about is the formation of the cabinet for Sudani. And so they're just waiting to vote on that. But the other news, of course, is the talk of the exchange rate and an increase of the Iraqi dinar against the US dollar. Parliamentary directions to gradually restore the dollar exchange rate. Since the number of members of the Iraqi Council of Representatives demand the inclusion of voting paragraph on restoring the exchange rate of the US dollar against the Iraqi dinar to its previous official rate. Isn't that what I said? I heard other gurus out there talking about, no, Pimpy is wrong. It's going to go to a higher rate. No, not yet. The first move is going to go to the previous exchange rate. A member of the Parliamentary Integrity Committee said, according to the official documents obtained by the news, reducing the dollar exchange rate, that due to the repercussions of the rise in exchange rate of the dollar against the dinar, which negatively affected the economic situation of the Iraqi family, which burdened the citizens, especially those with low incomes, we members of the attached list asked the President of the House of Representatives to include a paragraph to reduce the dollar exchange rate and gradually return it to the previous exchange rate within the work schedule of the next session in the public's interest. So yes, the devaluing of the Iraqi dinar disproportionately affected the poor people, but it was necessary in order to keep the government from collapsing. Is this jumping the gun? It might be. I know that under Al-Qademi, they had anticipated keeping this exchange rate for 5 years. And if that's the case, it was for a reason. But I also knew how corrupt Maliki was, and that if he did get control of the government, that there was no doubt he was going to increase the dinar's exchange rate against US dollar. It says it is noteworthy that the Central Bank of Iraq on December 19, 2020, officially announced the amendment of the foreign currency exchange rate to be 1,450 dinars instead of 1,200 dinars for every $100, which is actually inaccurate. It's for every dollar, not $100. So for every US dollar, you get 1,450 dinars. That's where we are. And what they want to change it to is you get 1,200 dinars for every dollar, according to the state's general budget for the year 2021, approval by the House of Representatives. Which is misleading, because what they're talking about was the devaluation is what happened in 2021. As a result, according to the specialists, the annual inflation in Iraq has risen significantly, so that all prices of materials and goods in the Iraq market have risen significantly, which has sparked a wave of strong resentment amongst the popular circles, as well as objections of some interested in economic affairs. Yeah, I bet. Now, I've spoken in the past that the Iraqi government has no say-so over the exchange rate. That has to be done by the Central Bank of Iraq. But I also said when Maliki was there, let's put it this way, he had a way of influencing what he wanted, I guess would be the best way to put it. And you could see they're already doing it again. Deputy and up-and-coming parliamentary hosting of the governor of the central bank and a ministry of finance regarding the reduction of the exchange rate. So it says right here, Monday, the hosting of the governor of the central bank and the minister of finance in order to reduce the exchange rate of the dollar against the Iraqi dinar. Al-Santani said, according to the media of her bloc, the signatures of more than 50 deputies were collected to host the governor of the central bank and the minister of finance in the new government in order to put pressure. You see what it says? In order to put pressure on reducing the exchange rate, even if it was in stages or gradually. So what I think is going to happen is you're going to see the first move is going to be to restore the dinar to its previous exchange rate. And then it isn't going to take long for them to want to add a little bit more. It's going to go up gradually. It says right here, reducing the exchange rate, even if it was in stages or gradually. And I know what they're talking about. Of course, they're talking about restoring it back to the original rate is what they're talking about, being done in stages or gradually. I don't see that happening. I think they're just going to jump right into it, see what happens. Then they're going to talk about the surplus of money and everything else, and then they're going to increase the rate again. That's just my opinion. I see the exchange rate must be reduced because of the difficult standards of living that the Iraqi people are experiencing now and the high rate of poverty, stressing that the representatives who signed the exchange rate cut will present a successful financial policy on which global policies are based. All deputies and political blocs are determined to reduce the exchange rate, and the number of deputies who signed will increase in the coming days. A number of deputies had announced earlier today the collection of parliamentary signatures from all political blocs in order to work to reduce the exchange rate of the dollar. Well, the dollar is crashing anyways. It's been crashing. Them lying to us, stating that the US dollar was strong. Actually, a shout out to Jules, who sent me a screenshot of an economist who said that the US dollar was not strong. It was only strong against the other G7 countries. Other than that, that was it. And that's what they've been basing their policies on, is the US dollar is strong and doing fine. Again, that's only against the other G7 nations. But if you compare it to the rest of the world, like it's been compared to before, no, it's not strong. It's going to crash. That's why I keep encouraging people to buy gold and silver. So here we go. This is when we're going to find out who's full of crap and who's not. These people out there telling you that they're going to restore to the 322 rate are lying. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get your $18. That's for dang sure. You're not going to get a nickel. You're not going to get a dime. It's only going to be restored to the previous exchange rate. So they're saying 1,200 dinars for every dollar. It used to be 1,190. All we're talking about is 10 dinars, which isn't anything. But the real question is going to be, how long until they do it again? My guess is that they're going to wait somewhere around 90 days to see what kind of effect it has on Iraq and the economy as a whole. And if it doesn't look like it's doing too much damage, I think then you can expect another increase at the beginning of next year. And depending on what happens then, a possible second increase in the year 2023. How much of an increase really just depends on how the economy is affected over in Iraq and what's going on globally. Those factors will make a world of difference. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. Let me know what you think. I'll look forward to your comments, and I will catch you later. I'm out.